If we could all take a seat, the time now is 5 o'clock. Excuse me, if we could all take a seat, the time now is 5 o'clock. We'll begin the meeting. President Romer, we're ready to begin.
Ready to go. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome everyone here to this very special occasion today. My name is Mike Romer. I'm the president of the MOFD board this year. And I would like to call this very special meeting to order and ask for a roll call, please.
And the time is 5:01. Director Danziger,
Here.
Director Hassler,
Here.
Director Jex,
Here.
Director Jorgens,
Here.
President Romer.
Here. I'd like to ask everyone to join me in pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I'm very happy to see such a great turnout. I hear there was a great turnout last night at the Orinda City Council board meeting as well. We're going to give everyone an opportunity to speak. We're going to do it slightly different than we do ordinarily at a meeting, because I would like to start out by reading, and I think that the board has agreed that Director Danziger and I will be the two folks reading the special proclamation that we are issuing in honor of our Fire Chief, Dave Winokur. You want to start out, Steve?
Okay, this is a proclamation honoring Fire Chief Dave Winokur. Whereas Fire Chief Dave Winokur has served with distinction in the fire service since 2004, with a remarkable career spanning Fresno City, Alameda County, and the Moraga-Orinda Fire District. And
whereas since joining MOFD as Fire Chief in 2017, Chief Winokur has been a transformative leader, developing a comprehensive strategic wildfire risk reduction plan, utilizing early warning systems, fire spread modeling, terrain and vehicular access analysis, and prescribed fire, alongside extensive outreach, education, and enforcement efforts to promote residential defensible space and home hardening measures. And
whereas Fire Chief Winokur has represented the California Fire Chiefs Association on the statewide Training and Education Advisory Committee and led the Wildland Urban Interface Task Force, significantly contributing to statewide fire safety and training initiatives. And
whereas prior to his fire service career, Chief Winokur served as a Marine Corps infantry officer from 1997 to 2003. And as a member of the Marine Corps Reserve, he has held key leadership roles, including commanding officer of the 4th Force Reconnaissance Company and deputy commander of the 23rd Marine Regiment. And he has been approved by the United States Senate for promotion to the rank of Brigadier General. And
whereas beyond the professional roles, Chief Winokur has further contributed to public safety through his work at Stanford University as a Hoover Institution Veteran Fellow, focusing on the intersection of wildfire and property insurance. And
whereas Fire Chief Winokur is retiring from his position as Fire Chief, leaving behind a legacy of dedication, leadership, and innovation that has profoundly impacted the safety and resilience of the Moraga-Orinda community. And
now, therefore, be it resolved that the governing board of the Moraga-Orinda Fire District, on behalf of the entire community, hereby recognizes and honors Fire Chief Dave Winokur for his exceptional service, leadership, and unwavering commitment to public safety, and extends heartfelt congratulations on his retirement. And
Be it further resolved that we express our deepest gratitude for his contributions to the fire service, the military, and the community, and wish him continued success and fulfillment in all of his future endeavors.
I think we should all go down. I think we should all go down. I'll get it.
Thank you, Director. Anytime involved without Max. Thank you, directors, particularly Director Jordan Jacks, who hired me. And back in 2017, our resume was much shorter. I was an unproven, new deputy chief from a different organization. And there were a lot of safer options they could have taken, and they definitely took a chance and gave me not only the opportunity, but the board has given me the direction that I needed in order to meet the community's needs. Secondly, I'd like to thank the members of the community here. There's an awful lot of you here, and I appreciate you coming. And this community is unique amongst the other places I have worked in the degree of community needs. The fact that we have founding directors still involved with the district, some, maybe Dick Olson, still retain a significant portion of the district's records. Garage. And find out what can happen. So we have this level of engagement with the community that comes not only with an expectation that MOFD meets their needs, but a great deal of support. And there's very much a two-way flow here where certainly we are expected to do many things, but the community has made many parts of this job much easier. And we have community members such as Rob Schroeder and Carol Blavelli, who brought forward not only the idea of what we should do, but transformed it into No Juniper Left Behind, which is the cleverest marketing approach. Clear the neighborhood of Juniper years in advance of our requirements, clear Juniper. So that opportunity for that exchange of not only ideas, but of execution on the part of community members has been just wonderful. Gives me great hope for what this community can do to make itself more prepared, because I feel obligated, my very brief PSA, we're not going to litigate, we're not going to regulate, we're not going to enforce our way out of wildfire as an issue. As a community, we have the agency to execute, and with the community's execution that will help bring us collectively to a better space. So we're very grateful for the community members who have done that, and done that in ways that we could never have envisioned. Thank you all very much for that. Certainly to the Rescue One board, great friends, great partners in this, and appreciate everything you have done both in the district and for me personally. Notwithstanding the fact that I occasionally show up at the wrong place for your meetings. Thank you for the support. And then to the firefighters who are here tonight, and the men and women who answer the bell day and night to the community's needs on the side of the road when it's raining, in the back of the board and care home during COVID. Through the front door of a house that's fully involved. A great deal of appreciation for all of the work you do to keep the community safe, rain or shine, night or day, holiday, weekday, doesn't matter. You call, they will be at your door moments later. That is a great trust the community places in the fire district, and the men and women who respond are the ones who carry that out the vast majority of the time. And then lastly, thank my family, two of whom are here tonight, since I think Sally is live streaming from Chico, I point out she really cared she would be here tonight. Because currently college is more important. But to my family who stood by me during all this, there were many times, probably too many that were camper. And so their support and their understanding that when the phone rang, regardless of what we had planned, there were times I had to go. Appreciate the support and making all of this possible. I wish I could say I was sad to be leaving, or not. I'm really looking forward to what comes next, and I'm confident that the district is being left in a good place, in good hands, with soon to be interim fire chief Jeff Isaacs in the back, the deputy chief Lucas Lambert, and all of the admin staff and others who are here, we provide that continuity that will keep the good work we have been doing moving forward. So thank you all very much. I would remind you, if you see a tall cyclist on the side of the road, please give me lots of room to pass. I will be riding through the district and hopefully not getting pushed by any cars as I do so. So thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate it.
We do have a list of presenters, and I would like to start out with the Town of Moraga Mayor Steve Wallachy.
Thank you. Chief Winiker, representing the citizens of Moraga, I thank you for your strong leadership and support to both Moraga and Orinda and the broader area. We presented to Chief Winiker a proclamation from the town council in November. I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to read it. I would like to, however, relate from perhaps a Moraga citizen standpoint, an example of where MOFD under Chief Winiker's leadership demonstrated broad perspective, innovation, and impact. For Moraga, honoring our agricultural heritage is one of our core values. And that includes cattle grazing. And we have a property there, very visible, called Painted Rock. And historically, it's been grazed by cattle over 70 years. And in about 2012, it stopped. And the citizens were, they weren't really happy with that. And things remained stagnant for a number of years. And then the John Muir Land Trust took control of the property. And pretty soon we started seeing controlled burns on Painted Rock. And that wasn't initially accepted or appreciated by the citizens, but it served multiple purposes, including preparing that land again for grazing. And MOFD went so far as to apply to the California Coastal Commission for a grant to repair fencing, install a corral, fresh water. And now we have cows again on Painted Rock. And the citizens are really happy about that. And we thank MOFD specifically for that. And I have a small recognition for you from some of your constituents. And I'd like to present it to you. And if you pull it out, it is
Related to cows.
It's got some lettering on it.
It's not cow food.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for all your grass. Happy cows at Painted Rock.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to give, on behalf of the City of Orinda Council, Orinda Mayor Latika Malkani.
And I see council member Darlene G., who was mayor until last night, in the room, so I'm going to ask her to join me here. We also have a proclamation for you, Chief Winiker. I'm also not going to read all of it, but I do want to read a couple things and have a few words to say as well. The proclamation does point out that you really, together with the board, are responsible for developing a comprehensive strategic wildfire risk reduction plan for our joint community. And the plan includes early warning, fire spread modeling, terrain and vehicular access analysis, prescribed fire in conjunction with extensive outreach, education, enforcement efforts to increase adoption of residential defensible space and home hardening measures. And, you know, you've gone above and beyond this community. And at the state level, you've represented the California Fire Chiefs Association and lead the Wildlife Urban Interface Task Force. And, you know, you are a statewide recognized leader in the fire service, and we have been so lucky to have you serve us. I had the pleasure of getting to know you a little bit, starting with the beginning of the SSTOC Commission, and so have truly had the pleasure of hearing your briefings and thoughts for several years now. And I am incredibly indebted to you, as is all of Orinda, for how much you have taught us. But so in addition to expressing incredible gratitude, I wanted to comment on a couple traits, a few traits that I think. One is your brilliance. You are, you know, an incredible source of knowledge for us on fire science and policy and legislation and really everything that we need to know. But you also have the ability to speak very eloquently and convey the brilliance in your mind to us. And so thank you for you know, what you say makes sense, and how you say it really is beautiful. You do have a way with words, sir. So thank you for that. And then thank you for your integrity and genuine goodness in looking after our communities. You know, I think I speak for everyone in saying that when we hear recommendations from you or thoughts from you, we have no question whatsoever that you are looking out for the safety and wellness of Moraga and Orinda. And so thank you for leading us with grace, with thoughtfulness, you know, and yes, even patience, which I know you've had to do with us sometimes at the 2x2 and in other forums. So we are very indebted to you. And I don't know if former Mayor G wants to say a few words.
I only want to add my personal thank you, Chief. You have been here through my 2 tenures as mayor and my council service. So I want to wish you all the best. Our new mayor, Malkani, I think said so many things that I echo, and it has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure to work with you, and we have appreciated so much. And I know sometimes you don't think so, but I think you've made a real difference. And I think we're just going to continue to make things move in the right direction. So hopefully someday we'll be sending you pictures of Orinda and Moraga, and there'll be hardly anything growing here at all.
Thank you. So next is our United States Senator, Alex Padilla, and his office issued a certificate of special recognition, which I will present to Chief Winiker. And while I do so, I would invite next in line, I think, United States House of Representative Congressman Mark DeSaulnier's office, and Kaylee DeLand has agreed to be here.
Well, it's such an honor to be here tonight, just to thank you for your incredible service to the district. I just want to take a moment to thank you for everything that you've done for this community and for this country. I especially want to commend you for the proactive approach that you've had to public safety, and the work that you've built to foster community here, within the district. We do have a congressional record that the congressman has prepared for you. So that will be memorialized and that will be, entered into the record for you to view at any time. But I will read a few highlights from that here tonight. Dave has worked tirelessly to promote public safety and improve quality of life for residents of the East Bay. Dave joined the Moraga-Orinda Fire District, or MOFD, in 2017. He served in the Marine Corps and remains in the Marine Corps Reserves. He has earned the rank of colonel, serving as the commanding officer for the 4th Reconnaissance Company and as the deputy commander of the 23rd Marine Regiment. During his time with MOFD, Dave has shown his dedication to mitigating wildfire risk and making our community safer. Under his leadership, MOFD developed a strategic plan to implement early warning systems and provide real-time data to residents. He has worked to expand MOFD's outreach to the community, providing critical education and resources to property owners to implement fuels mitigation techniques at their homes. Further, he has worked collaboratively with local elected officials, insurance industry representatives, and other key stakeholders to improve emergency preparedness throughout the district. Overall, Dave's efforts have been critical in reducing wildfire risk and keeping residents safe. We'd like to join in congratulating Chief Winokur on his well-deserved retirement after years of outstanding service. And I'd love to be able to present this to you.
On behalf of our California State Legislature, Assembly Member Bauer Cahan and Senator Glazier, I think we have Lauren Howe here.
Hi, I'm Lauren Howe, and on behalf of Senator Stephen Glazer and Assemblymember Rebecca Bauer-Cahan, I want to extend our deepest gratitude to Chief Dave Winokur for his years of dedicated service to the Moraga-Orinda Fire District and the broader community. Chief Winokur's career has been defined by an unwavering commitment to protecting lives, from your service as a Marine Corps officer to your transformative leadership as MOFD Fire Chief. Under your guidance, MOFD has become a leader in wildfire preparedness, implementing innovative initiatives such as a strategic wildfire risk reduction plan that incorporates early warning systems, real-time fire spread modeling, and prescribed fire techniques. Through your visionary strategies, extensive community outreach, and dedication to safety, you have set a gold standard for fire service leadership at both the state and national levels. Your vision, dedication, and tireless efforts will leave a lasting legacy. We thank you for your service and wish you every success as you move forward into the next chapter of your career. Thank you.
Next, we have Contra Costa County Supervisor Candace Anderson's office, District 2, Board of Supervisors, Jill Ray.
Good evening. Sorry, Candace couldn't be here tonight. She had another engagement, so she sent me. I am happy you're retiring for you. I am not happy for me. I have enjoyed our time together, and I have to say that so many of the things that people have, I'm not going to read the resolution, by the way, so you can read it later. So many of the things that people have said ring so true. You have taken some very complex issues and tackled them and explained them to me so that I could understand and help you. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate the work. Your openness and your commitment to the District 2 residents. You know, you've heard from Moraga and Orinda, and we represent Canyon, and I know you've done amazing work with that community and built trust, and I really appreciate that. The word legacy comes to mind, and I just think everything that you have done has built such a legacy to allow the rest of the fire districts in this area, the state and the nation, to do so much more, and greatly appreciate that. So thank you, and I wish you all the best. And thank you to your family for sharing you so much of your time and energy for the betterment of everybody else. So thank you. And I'm asking Fire Chief and the Deputy Fire Chief to come down from Confire to take a picture with us. If that's okay with you.
Well, next on my list is the Contra Costa County Fire Chiefs Association, which is represented by San Ramon Fire Chief Paige Meyer and Contra Costa County Fire Protection District Chief Louis Brochard.
If we could mute that microphone, would be very helpful.
So who said that? Who said that? Hey, why are all you guys? I've never heard this many people say nice things about you. This is crazy.
That's because you haven't spoken yet.
Where am I? I want to retire, man. Well, thank you. I'm Paige Meyer, Fire Chief of the San Ramon Valley Fire Protection District, and Louis Broussard is with me. We're here to honor Dave Winokur on his great service, not only to Moraga and Orinda, but also to the Contra Costa County Fire Chiefs. As we get together, there's a saying I like to have: pirates, thieves, and fire chiefs. And that's because we don't get along very well, and we tend to do things that I don't really like all that much, except for the chiefs that are here right now. I'm talking about outside this, where we're sitting. But one of the things that Chief Winokur had to do as the executive president of the Contra Costa County Fire Chiefs is get a bunch of folks that are kind of hard-headed. If you met firefighters, you know, and he is hard-headed. Don't let it, that's not just a receding hairline you got. There are things that we bang our heads against all the time, and we don't always see eye to eye. And that creates an environment sometimes that's difficult in a county where Contra Costa County Fire takes all the Measure X money. So we don't get along. Is anybody listening? We don't always get along. He knows, but what he's been able to do is keep us all focused. And that's very difficult. Strong personalities, lots of different ways to go, lots of needs within the community that are, you know, for the most part, not 100%, for the most part, are important. And somehow he got all of us together when we went through ups and downs and kept us focused on the mission at hand and the task. And that leadership quality was evident to me. And he kept us thinking in a way that allowed us to come together and make progress for everybody in the county. So as, you know, a member of the San Ramon Valley Fire Protection District, I'd like to thank you on behalf of our district and our board of directors for all you did to further the mission that we had and being able to come together and put together a training site. So we thank you, but more importantly, and as importantly, your ability to keep us all together as we move forward. It's very much appreciated. You're a great leader, and I wish you all the best in retirement. And Louis said, sorry, Louis has got something to say, something about apologies or something.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, Paige. You know, Dave, your board did a very good job of saying many of the things that I wanted to make sure were spoken about tonight. Your service to our country, your recent promotion to Brigadier General, all of the other things that you have brought to bear in your time here as fire chief. And as our neighbor, I can't thank you enough for all the support that you've given us and all the support that your members have given us on a daily basis as our two agencies work together so closely. Your board also mentioned your work on a statewide basis. I've had the privilege of seeing Chief Winokur speak across this country, whether it be in Southern California or in Maryland. Probably see him again in February in Nevada as well. And I do hope that you keep up that work on behalf of Cal Chiefs and other fire-based organizations, because we need your voice. Things are getting more complex. They're getting tougher to deal with. And having someone like you with the tenacity and the intelligence and the integrity to take those on and be a voice for change is important. So thank you for everything that you've done, not just within Contra Costa County, but on a statewide basis. I wish you all the best in whatever comes next in retirement, and the best of happiness, health for you and your family in your next endeavors. Congratulations.
Next, on behalf of the Rescue One Foundation, we have Maridale Moulton.
It's my pleasure to assist our board chair, Rob Schroeder, who's doing the heavy lifting tonight, and you'll see that in a moment. With apologies to Francesco Maria Scala. From the hills of Moraga to the woods of Orinda Green, the chief led our great fire district in the air, on land, and everywhere seen. First to care for medical issues and to address the growing wildfire trend, we are grateful to bestow the title of Honored Retired Chief and Friend. Having supported the Moraga-Orinda Fire District by administering citizen donations since 1977, we of Rescue One knew we were in for something special when we arrived at that first open house in Orinda back in 2017 when he took over as chief. And for the first time, everything in the station was perfectly set up and the station was immaculately clean. You can tell when you've hired a Marine. We thank you for your consistent engagement with us and with the entire broad community, for your deep commitment to continually developing all of your staff. You've grown so many future leaders, for your partnering with and supporting other districts, for your amazing knowledge and your leadership across the nation in developing wildfire safe communities. And yes, even for your speed talking and that super fast sense of humor of yours. Rob would like to present you on our behalf with a resounding token of our deepest appreciation.
Well, Chief, this may not be the most expensive tribute you get tonight, but mostly because Gordon wouldn't let me spend any money. But this was made by hand.
Oh.
Lucas, get a good picture.
Corey can fly you into dinner with me.
I think this is the time now to open it for public comment, and I'd like to start by offering Dick Olson the chance to make some comments.
Good evening. Our family has lived in Moraga for 52 years now. And over that entire period, I've been involved either directly or indirectly with our local fire service and emergency medical service, starting when we first arrived here up until the present moment. And in the course of that, I've gotten to know 10 different fire chiefs in those 52 years. And many of them have great accomplishments. But I will say to you, David, you've accomplished more than any of them, by far. Thank you. Just a couple quick notes, maybe to fill in a little of what might have also been included in the resolution. And one of those is the fact that on a national level, he is the leader in educating the reinsurance industry on how to reevaluate the setting of fire insurance rates. He's the man. At the state level, this came up at a recent Orinda City Council meeting. He's the reason that now every district of Caltrans has a fire plan. And this has led to a lot of clearance along the sides of all the highways, whereas it used to be something like just a 3-foot little wedge on the sides. Here locally, besides the wildfire prevention plan, he's responsible for the fact that right here in the Moraga-Orinda Fire District, we have 40 plus fire rise areas, neighborhoods, 40 plus. Amazing. And also not in your resolution is the fact that he led and oversaw the rebuilding of Station 43, which is an important development. That thing was falling down. And it was not an easy process. I could go on, but I thought I would just add a little to the record and say thank you, my friend.
I'd like to invite Linus on behalf of the John Muir Land Trust.
Thank you, President Romer, members of the board. I'm here on behalf of the John Muir Land Trust Board of Directors and all of our members to join in the chorus of recognition for Chief Winokur and all that he's done on behalf of our entire region and community, and specifically with respect to the fuels management that the Land Trust is faced with day in, day out on thousands of acres. I can just earnestly salute the enlightened leadership that Chief Winokur brought to this place, this job, as he's undertaken early days. Remarkable, enlightened understanding of controlled burn, of how to move forward with that, understanding of the biotics on the property and so forth as to its effect, and then a carefully managed communication strategy to enable the community to become used to the idea of applying fire as a wonderful way to actually control for that potential wildfire that many have had actually experienced on Painted Rock and obviously so many other places. So we're deeply grateful to Chief Winokur for bringing that to bear. I'd also say that my colleagues were throughout the state in the Land Trust community were, wait, what? You're working with a local fire chief to actually bring prescribed burn to open space. It was truly enlightened and innovative in those early days, and now it's really applied practice throughout the state. And it was really due to Chief Winokur bringing that initiative. We're very, very grateful for that. I'd also say I walk by Dick Olson's garage on a regular basis. It's immaculate, so your archive files are in very good shape. I appreciate such a legacy of people involved with MOFD and again, very specifically Chief Winokur for all of his great work, and our membership and board are deeply grateful for that. And we wish you all the well. And going forward, all best wishes. And we've brought you something on behalf of JMLT, which in respect to Painted Rock, which is where a lot of this started with us, but of course it applies to thousands of acres of fuel load, and including under circumstance that's very subject to climate change. And again, the enlightenment of Chief Winokur and getting ahead of that issue, very much appreciated.
I want to thank everyone who took advantage of the opportunity under the public comment. I think public comment, we then close it. And I would like to invite any other.
Can I make a public comment, please?
Certainly. Nick, go ahead.
A little late for my card.
That's okay.
Oh, thank you. Chief, I just want to say on a professional basis, I want to thank you for everything you've done. And in particular for helping me and my neighbor organize our Firewise neighborhood. I still remember the three of us walking up and down the hill, which is no mean feat, and you showing us property by property what needs to be done. On a personal note, it's been a real pleasure to get to know you and to talk about the sport of lacrosse. And it's just been a real pleasure. Thank you and best of luck in the future.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks to everyone who spoke. I'd like to now, if we have another one? Oh, go ahead.
I'd like to speak as well.
Sure.
Well, I have the utmost respect for the chief.
If you could just quickly state your name for me for
My
the
name
record.
is Stephen Anderson. I served at one time on the board. In fact, I was in the committee that hired the chief. So I just want to tell him, thank you. I don't have any awards or proclamations, but I'm going to give you the one thing that a serving combat officer can give to another serving combat officer. And the last time I saluted a general officer was CINCPAC Admiral McCain. That's not John McCain. That was the father of John McCain. And John McCain at the time was in Hanoi prison. Anyway, fair winds and following seas.
You can just state your name for the record.
Good evening, Board. Chief, Vince Wells. I'm the president of the Firefighters Local 1230, representing the rank and file. Sorry we didn't make the list,
That's
but
okay.
you're not going to get out that easily without our comments. I just wanted to say I've been the union president ever since the fire chief arrived here. And my first comments was because I'm an Air Force guy, we got a Marine. And because I knew that was going to be, a challenge. But I have to say that in all our meetings and conversations, Chief Winokur's always been very fair to us. We didn't agree on a lot of different items, being the labor group, but I would say his treatment to me, at least personally, was always fair and always appreciated that. Yeah, so I'm going to turn it over to, I got two of my board members, two captains from Moraga-Orinda, Dan Albania and Jacob Ariella. And anyway, Jacob.
Thank you, Vince.
Thank you, Vince. Jacob Arola with Moraga Fire District and Local 1230, part of IAFF. Chief, I want to congratulate you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your consistency. Thank you for challenging us for 7 years straight. We appreciate it. We're better off because of it. And we hope you recognize how much the community does appreciate all that you've done with us tonight. We're going to present another shiny axe to you. Good evening. My name is Scott Hill. I'm the manager of watershed and recreation for the East Bay Municipal Utility District. And I've had the opportunity to work with Chief Winokur over the last 7 years on several thousand acres of fuel reduction on East Bay Mud watershed land surrounding the community of Orinda. And I can remember the first day we met. You called and you asked if we could get together, and I said, sure. You came over to the watershed headquarters. We sat down, you promptly opened your laptop and started going through a presentation on the wildland fire danger that you thought was associated or attributed to East Bay Mud watershed land around Brony's Reservoir. And you had some fire modeling that we looked at and talked about. And I don't know, I think maybe you'd been on the job a week, if that. And, I was all prepared to meet the new chief and have a cup of coffee and have a congenial conversation, which it ended up being. But I knew right then that there was a new chief in town, so to speak. And so it just escalated from there. And we got to know each other very well. We worked very closely over the last 7 years on like I said, significant fuel reduction throughout the community of Orinda and Moraga as well, several thousand acres. And I didn't want to be the first one to stand up here and say you're hard-headed, but I can say it now because the San Ramon chief broached that issue. I was thinking of something more along the lines of, tenacious and which you are. And that's one of the things I really like about you and respect about you is it's easy to know where you stand when we're discussing, issues, fuel reduction issues, and we haven't always agreed on the approaches, but we've talked through those issues and we've come to consensus or conclusion for the most part. And I really want to recognize and, thank you for the process that we've been able to go through together and the accomplishments that have been made. They're significant. We've talked about a lot of real high-level achievements that Chief Winokur has made throughout his life, and those are all really laudable. And I don't want to just repeat what others have said, but congratulations. Those are really, really achievements that you should be proud of. But what I want to emphasize is I've had the opportunity to work with Chief Winokur on the ground, day in and day out for the last 7 years on the issues that stop the sort of progress and accomplishments that we're talking about that have been made over the last 7 years. And it's incredible. It's incredible. I'm really proud to have had the opportunity to collaborate with you on those because we serve the same constituency. I'm a longtime public servant. I'm very proud of that. And that means a lot to me. And I respect your commitment to serve the public. And it's been an honor working with you, Chief. And I wish you the best of luck in retirement. And if my eye doesn't deceive me, it looks like you're growing your hair out. So maybe that's something. Congratulations and thank you.
So now it's the opportunity for the board members, if they wish, to make individual comments on this special occasion. You want to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. First of all, I'll just say ditto on everything everybody said. Okay, I'm not going to do all that, but on a personal level, when I ran for election the first time in 2018, part of the reason I ran was because we had Chief Winokur as our chief. I had been following the fire service after retiring from a career in the Oakland Fire Department, and I knew that if I won, he would have our backs. And even though I'm his boss, he made us all look good, and he does. In the fire service, I was fortunate to work with many fire chiefs, and I have one of our former directors here who worked, Michael Donner, who worked over 30 years in the fire department. I think he would join me in saying that we worked with a lot of fire chiefs, but you're a superstar. And using baseball vernacular, if we had a Hall of Fame, you'd be a first ballot. And though I wasn't on the board when you were originally hired, I'm going to take some credit for being on the board when we were able to sign you to a long-term extension for 2 additional years at least. And the only thing that was going to get you to leave is if you were promoted to general. And thankfully, that didn't happen till recently. So thank you to the Senate for waiting for you to announce your retirement first. But on behalf of the community and myself, I just want to thank you for your service to Moraga-Orinda, the entire state, and to our nation. My father was a Marine. I was born on a Marine base, so I know what it takes. And just thank you very much. And I wish you well and stay safe.
Chief Winokur, so I'm going to say I have not served with many fire chiefs in my career, but I have worked with his college roommate. And when we first met, he said, "My college roommate's your boss," which he is. It is. But Chief Winokur has always been held in high regard by me. He is amazing. He's intelligent. He has a very quick wit, and he's always been able to answer all the board's questions, which is pretty impressive because the board can get wily sometimes. So for all you've done, and as a citizen of the district, I just want to thank you personally for what you've done for us, for the commitment you've had, the sacrifices you've made to make this a better place and a safer place. So thank you.
I go back 8 years, and I remember very clearly the impression we had as we were interviewing candidates for fire chief. And I remember there were a variety of options at the time. But when he walked through the door, you knew he was a Marine. Take charge, make things happen, brilliance, great leadership, all of the things that have happened in the district in the last 8 years largely were attributed, I think, to working with someone who as a leader, could make things happen and happen in a big way. And today, the district, in terms of its financial capacity to do the things that we need to do and have done, are in good order. And I attribute that a great deal to him and his leadership in doing it. So we'll definitely miss you. Whenever you have a question, you know you're going to get a straight answer. But we look forward to looking with one of the things that a great leader does is prepare for the future. And he certainly has done that in our communities and in the organization of the fire department here. And so I look forward to great success in the future. So thank you very much. Best decision we ever made.
I'll tell you, going last is tough because everybody stole my notes. Everybody did. But including the comment about, I'm glad you finally grew out your hair so you could take pictures without reflecting too much. So I was, as 3 of us were now, on the board when we chose Chief Winokur. And I think the comment that kind of broke the tie at the end was, you were not the one with the most, as you said, most background or experience, everything. But my comment was, you were the one with the most horsepower. And, in many respects, not just, smart, but also, a doer and somebody that really wanted to make a difference. And when we met the first time, I think it was at a fire chief's meeting out in, Pleasant Hill or someplace. You said you wanted to make this, firefighting 2.0, and that, make a difference, do something that was quite a bit different. And the things you've done and sponsored were not always popular. Sometimes they weren't popular with firefighters. Sometimes they weren't popular with the citizens, but they were the right thing to do. And you always stood for the things that were the right thing to do. So, not usually emotional, but this is actually, I feel pretty, close to the chief. He's been very creative, one of the brightest people I've ever worked with. And I'm a tough judge on things like that. So it's been a real pleasure and an honor to work with you. And I look forward to continuing to follow your successful career. Thank you.
It's not an exaggeration to say that I would not be on this board today except for the qualities that I saw in Dave Winokur. 6 years ago, I joined the support unit, and with many of the people who I see in the audience today, it was not only an honor, but it was a pleasure to serve on the support unit. Many of the firefighters that I also see in this room here today. And Dave Winokur was not just in an office directing other people to carry out experiments, but he enlisted me, along with Dennis Rain and others. We helped with the assistance of private enterprise to devise sensors and hammered them onto rebar and set them up out in the field. And then we proceeded to burn them all down to see whether we could come up with a system that would monitor wildfire propagation. And frankly, it was a lot of fun. So it inspired me to serve as a board member. And over the course of the time that I've been on the board and on the support unit, I've developed a special admiration for 3 unique leadership traits that Dave Winokur, I think, has exemplified for all of us. One is what I will call his conscientiousness. Having deep roots in this community, I see that he genuinely cares about the long-term safety and well-being of all of us. He's successful. He's accessible to everyone. Anybody can walk up to him, ask to meet with him on the streets in his office, and he will explain what he knows should be done, what is the right thing to do. And that's not easy. And he's done that very well, and he leaves us as an example for that. Second is what what I will call his burning curiosity about the world, and particularly about the entire range of data that's available about fire safety, insurance, home hardening, the efficient delivery of services, and the measures necessary for the long-term safety of this community. He's been successful in gathering information from academics at UC Berkeley, at Stanford, and in private industry, and in persuading the community to implement the lessons that he has learned. I've called that ability better than genius, and I'm really serious that I think that he is able to gather together the information that comes from folks who are recognized as geniuses. But I think better than some geniuses, he's also got the charm and the ability to eloquently persuade folks who are often difficult to persuade. And thirdly, it should come as no surprise to anybody that a career military man who is now a brigadier general has very unique courage and tenaciousness. He persists in that ability to educate and persuade, despite the natural human resistance to change. We get attached to the way that our community is, and it takes someone of uncommon skills to be able to lead us in the changes that we know that we need to do. And he's never wavered in his commitment to implement the best fire science practices. It's a cliche to say that we go out or that he has made a difference, but I think he truly has. I think this community is different. Our mentality is different. The physical makeup of our community is different because of what Dave Winokur has done. And I'm deeply appreciative of all of his qualities, his hard work, his tenaciousness, and his concern for the long-term safety of this community. On that note, I note that Julie and Corey have made great efforts to present some beverages and some refreshments here for us today. And I think it's time to adjourn.
Okay, can I have a motion, please? All those in
Second.
favor?
Motion to adjourn.
Aye.
Time
Thank
is
you,
6
everyone.
o'clock. We're adjourned.